What happens when the Lord of the Seas faces a challenge that could shake the very foundations of his aquatic empire? Picture this. The Mediterranean churns with divine fury as Poseidon, earth-shaker and master of storms, prepares for a contest that will determine the fate of all water spirits across the ancient world. In the golden age of ancient Greece, when gods walked among mortals and their quarrels shaped the natural world, the boundaries between divine domains weren't always clear. The Greeks understood that their world was governed by powerful deities, each ruling their own sphere of influence. Poseidon commanded the vast oceans, but the rivers, streams, and springs belonged to countless nymphs and minor spirits who had served the land since time immemorial. Our tale begins in the sacred halls of Olympus, where Poseidon sits brooding on his coral throne. The sea god's beard flows like ocean currents, and his eyes flash with the power of tsunamis. For months, he's been hearing whispers that trouble his divine pride. River spirits across Greece have been boasting that their waters are purer, more essential to mortal life than his salty domain. They claim that while his oceans are vast, their fresh waters truly sustain civilization. The final insult comes from Achelous, the eldest and most powerful of the river gods. This ancient spirit, whose waters flow through western Greece, sends a message that echoes through every waterway in the land. He declares that rivers are the true arteries of life, while oceans are merely empty expanses that separate civilizations rather than nurture them. Poseidon's rage shakes the foundations of his underwater palace. Dolphins flee in terror as his trident crackles with divine energy. The Earthshaker has endured enough. He rises from his throne, his voice booming across the Mediterranean like thunder over waves. He issues a challenge that will be heard by every water spirit from the Aegean to the Black Sea. The challenge is unprecedented in its scope and ambition. Poseidon declares a tournament that will settle once and for all which waters reign supreme. He calls it the Trident Tournament, named after his three-pronged symbol of power. The contest will consist of 3 trials, each designed to test different aspects of aquatic might and wisdom. The first trial will test raw power and the ability to shape the physical world. The second will challenge the competitor's capacity to nurture and sustain life. The third and final trial will examine their understanding of water's role in prophecy and divine wisdom. The winner will be acknowledged as the supreme ruler of all waters, with the losers accepting eternal subservience. News of the tournament spreads like ripples across the ancient world. River spirits emerge from their hidden grottos and sacred springs. Naiads, the nymphs of streams and brooks, whisper excitedly among the reeds. Even the fearsome spirits of underground rivers and the mysterious guardians of mountain springs answer the call. Achelous accepts immediately, his pride wounded by Poseidon's audacious challenge. He's joined by Alpheus, the river god who pursues the nymph Arethusa across land and sea. Styx, the goddess of the underworld river by which gods swear their most binding oaths, emerges from the depths to participate. Dozens of lesser river spirits and water nymphs gather, each believing their unique waters possess special qualities that might triumph over the sea god's might. The tournament's location is carefully chosen, the Bay of Corinth, where the isthmus connects the Peloponnese to mainland Greece. Here, where land meets sea and ancient trade routes converge, the contest will unfold before an audience of gods, mortals, and mythical creatures. The first trial begins at dawn. Poseidon demonstrates why he's called the Earthshaker, by raising massive waves that tower like moving mountains. With a gesture of his trident, he creates new islands and carves deep trenches in the ocean floor. The water spirits watch in awe as he commands whirlpools that could swallow entire fleets. But the river spirits prove they're not to be underestimated. Achelous transforms his waters into a mighty torrent that carves new valleys through solid rock. He demonstrates how rivers have shaped continents over millions of years, creating the fertile plains where civilizations flourish. Styx reveals her power to bind even gods with unbreakable oaths, showing that some waters possess authority that transcends physical might. The smaller spirits contribute their own marvels. Mountain springs show how they can split solid granite, while underground rivers demonstrate their ability to create vast cavern systems. Each participant reveals unique powers that reflect their specific domain and character. As the first trial concludes, it becomes clear that raw power alone cannot determine the winner. The contest moves to its second phase, the test of life-giving properties. Poseidon creates vast underwater gardens where sea life flourishes in impossible abundance. Coral reefs bloom with colors beyond mortal imagination, and schools of fish dance in patterns that mirror the constellations. He demonstrates how oceans regulate the world's climate, bringing rain to distant lands through evaporation and weather patterns. The river spirits respond by showcasing their role in sustaining terrestrial life. They water the crops that feed civilizations, provide drinking water for cities, and create the fertile deltas where agriculture first flourished. Achelous shows how his waters have nurtured Greek settlements for generations, while other rivers demonstrate their roles in supporting forests, meadows, and the countless creatures that depend on fresh water. The competition intensifies as each participant reveals deeper aspects of their life-sustaining powers. Some spirits show their ability to heal, others their role in purification rituals that cleanse both body and spirit. The contest becomes a celebration of water's fundamental importance to all existence. The final trial focuses on wisdom and prophecy, areas where water has always held special significance in Greek culture. Sacred springs were believed to grant prophetic visions, and water played crucial roles in religious ceremonies and divination. Poseidon calls upon his oracles, the sea nymphs who have guided sailors through treacherous voyages and revealed hidden truths to those brave enough to seek them. He demonstrates how the patterns of waves and tides can reveal the future to those who understand their language. The river spirits counter with their own prophetic traditions. Sacred springs like the Castalian spring at Delphi have inspired the Pythia's prophecies for centuries. Underground rivers carry messages between the world of the living and the realm of the dead. Each water source reveals its unique connection to divine knowledge and mystical understanding. As the tournament reaches its climax, something unexpected happens. The competing spirits begin to realize that their powers are interconnected rather than opposed. Rivers flow to the sea, and ocean waters rise to become clouds that bring rain to feed the rivers. The water cycle reveals itself as a divine collaboration rather than a competition for dominance. Poseidon, in his wisdom, recognizes this truth. Instead of declaring a single winner, he acknowledges that all waters serve essential roles in the cosmic order. He establishes a new covenant where sea and freshwater spirits work together, each respected for their unique contributions to the world's balance. The tournament ends not with conquest, but with cooperation. Poseidon retains his position as Lord of the Seas, but he grants the river spirits autonomy within their domains and recognition of their vital importance. The water nymphs are elevated to serve as messengers between different aquatic realms, ensuring harmony and communication. This mythological tale reflects deep Greek understanding of natural interconnectedness and the importance of balance in divine relationships. It teaches that true power comes not from domination, but from recognizing and respecting the roles others play in maintaining cosmic harmony. The story of Poseidon's Trident tournament has influenced countless later tales of divine competition and cooperation. It reminds us that in nature, as in human society, the greatest achievements come from collaboration rather than conflict. The waters that sustain our world work together in an eternal cycle that reflects the wisdom of the gods themselves. In our modern world, this ancient tale resonates with environmental themes about the interconnectedness of water systems and the importance of protecting both oceans and freshwater sources. The Greek understanding that all waters are sacred and interconnected offers timeless wisdom for our relationship with the natural world.